The Seven Princesses of Ndalama Valley. Once upon a time, in the green and gold heart of Ndalama Valley, there stood a palace whose walls shone in the sun like polished bronze. The air smelled of ripe mangoes and fresh rain, and the drums in the market square never fell silent. The kingdom was blessed, not because of its riches nor its endless fields of millet, but because the king had 7 daughters, each one a jewel of her own kind. They were so beautiful that travelers whispered their names like prayers, afraid the wind might carry the sound to jealous ears. Princess Amara, whose laughter made even sick plants sprout new leaves. Princess Zuri, whose eyes were deep and calm as midnight rivers. Princess Lami, who moved like fire dancing in a clay lamp. Princess Kezia, whose voice could soften the heart of an enemy. Princess Nia, gentle as the rain before dawn. Princess Tari, wise enough to outwit a council of grey-haired elders. And the youngest, Princess Sola, whose curiosity often pulled her into trouble, and out again, somehow smiling. For years, their beauty was the kingdom's pride. But beauty attracts not only blessings, it calls storms as well. One market day, a man rode into Ndalama Valley, tall as a palm tree, shoulders broad as a doorway. He wore a leopard skin cloak and carried a spear tipped with silver. His name made the crowd murmur, Kamau the Lion Spear, a warrior feared from the desert to the sea. They said Kamau could defeat 10 men before the dust of the first strike settled. They said the vultures knew his scent. They said no woman had ever made him bow his head. But that day, as the palace gates opened and the 7 princesses stepped out to greet him, Kamau, the unshakable, unbroken, undefeated, lost his breath. From that moment, fate took a cruel interest. Before the moon completed its next circle, all 7 princesses were in love with him. It began with shy glances, then secret gifts, then bold declarations whispered in the garden at night. But love shared by 7 hearts is no love at all. It is a fire with too many flames, and it will burn everything it touches. The king, unaware of the storm building under his own roof, welcomed Kamau into the palace as an honored guest. But the palace walls have ears, and the prophecy whispered long ago began to stir. One daughter will bring the kingdom to its greatest glory, another will bring it to ruin. And Kamau, unknowingly, had just stepped into the center of it. The 7 Princesses of Ndalama Valley. Part 2. From the day Kamau entered the palace, the air seemed heavier. Laughter between the princesses became rare. Shared meals turned to silent glances and cold smiles. One warm afternoon, in the royal courtyard, Princess Nia approached Kamau, carrying a fine leather belt adorned with cowrie shells. Nia, softly, Lion Spear, I made this for you with my own hands. Wear it, and my spirit will guard you in battle. Kamau, accepting it with a smile. And if I wear it, will you guard me here in the palace too? Nia laughed shyly, not knowing that Princess Amara was watching from the balcony, her jaw tight with jealousy. That night, Amara found Kamau by the moonlit garden. Amara, belts are for warriors, but joy is for kings. Let me be the reason you smile, Kamau. Kamau smiled, but said nothing. His silence was more dangerous than any promise. The dance by the river. At the festival of the first rains, the people gathered by the river to sing and dance. Princess Lami stepped into the circle, moving with a grace that drew every eye. Kamau could not look away. Zuri, standing beside him, whispered, Zuri, fire burns bright, but it also burns out quickly. Come, walk with me, and I'll show you the coolness of the moonlight. Kamau followed her into the shadows, leaving Lami to dance for no one. The first clash. The sisters' rivalry could no longer be hidden. One evening in the royal chambers, words became weapons. Lami, furious. You stole him from my dance, Zuri. Zuri, calmly. If he left you for me, perhaps he was never yours. Amara, cutting in, neither of you will have him. He comes to me when he wants to laugh. Tari from the corner, and when he wants wisdom, he comes to me. Maybe that's what will make him choose a wife. The argument grew so loud that Princess Sola, the youngest, slipped quietly out. She had no interest in fighting, only in knowing the truth about Kamal's heart. The warning Sola found Kamal alone in the stables, tending his stallion. Sola, do you know what you've done, Lionspear? Kamal, without looking up, I've done nothing but accept kindness. Sola, 7 women can't love the same man without blood being spilled. My sisters will destroy each other. Or you. Kamal finally looked at her, his eyes unreadable. Kamal, and which would you choose, little princess? Sola, quietly, I choose the truth before it's too late. But truth was already too late, because that same night a servant overheard 2 sisters plotting to ensure that Kamal belonged to one, and only one, forever,